All right. So, assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon everyone who's watching, listening. My name is Kenny Bomer. I'm the author of the book Consider Islam, Disproving the Patriots of Propaganda. And I'm the host of Consider This TV, where truth is made clear from falsehood. And so I do bear witness there's no God other than Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final servant and seal of all prophets. I didn't plan on going live today, but a certain individual, a certain character that I had a debate with on Saturday has been sending me messages all day long. And so I've actually invited him on so we can go ahead and go into more, a little more in depth about some things that I want to talk to him about. And Brother Ibn Anwar is on the platform with me. Assalamu alaikum, brother. And so we're gonna have him come on.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, you brother, you doing all right today?
A little bit tired, but alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I was doing some writing today, so I wasn't planning on going live today. But he just kept on all long, sending me these messages, and so he's a narcissist. So he just truly he thinks that what he's saying that people are actually taking it to heart, and he's completely blind to the fact that people aren't taking what he's saying to heart. So
who is this person? Is it Mr. Jesus? Mr. Jesus being John?
Yeah, absolutely. So the other day in the debate, he referred to himself as well, in our interactions, I don't remember if he said it specifically in the debate the other day, but in the debate I mentioned that in our interactions at some point he stated that he is the Son of Christ. He also said that he's the Antichrist. So imagine that. Puts someone in a bit of a debacle to be the Christ,
new level of schizophrenia,
the Son of the Christ and the Antichrist at the same time. So so I sent him the link. Matter of fact, I'll send him a message on Facebook and see if he find out where he's at. But just quite simply, he's just so his delusion that it's hard to just hard to deal with him. But so we're gonna see what happens with that. But I do want to take this opportunity to discuss. I mentioned it yesterday about the debate that's going to be happening on Saturday with Brother Mustafa Hijazi, and he will be on to debate. Let me bring the flyer up real quick. He'll come on to debate a gentleman by the name of Sean Masters on which is from God, Islam or Christianity. So they'll be debating that on Saturday, inshallah. And so that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so, yes. We're going to have this rascal come on again today and see what he's got to say today. If he asked me if I was going to let him come on and speak freely, I told him, yeah, you can come on and speak freely. So we'll see what happens with that. But once again, if matter of fact, if you're someone who heard the debate the other day and you've heard our interactions in the past and the one that we had.
I want to take this opportunity to discuss. I mentioned it yesterday.
We're getting some feedback.
That's going to be happening on Saturday.
Brother Ibn Anwar, I think Brother Ibn Anwar, we're getting some feedback from you. So I want to take this time to say assalamu alaikum to everyone in the chat, and thank you for watching. But if you watched the debate the other day and you've listened to our interactions and you would like to come on to the platform, I'm going to post the link for the show today in the chat right now. And if you'd like to come, feel free to come on. So once again, Isa ibn Yahya, the son of the so-called Messiah, is going to be coming on. He's supposed to come on. He's been sending me messages all day, and he's supposed to come on. He asked me, could he speak freely? Well, yeah, he can come on and speak freely. So we'll see what he's got to say about that. I see someone by the name of Jake is in the backstage. So Jake, if you're listening, The requirement for someone that I am unfamiliar with is that you will have to turn on your camera at least while you're backstage. Okay. I see you turn something on, but I don't see you. But yeah, I need to be able to see who you are. Everything is recorded. We've had some people pull some shenanigans in the past. As a matter of fact, at the end of the debate the other day, when we were having the discussion after the debate, someone was trying to get on the platform with porn again. I could see it backstage, but of course I didn't let them in. So the requirement to come on to the show is that have to see who you are. Got a new, see, he bailed on out of there based on that requirement. We'll see if he comes back. But so we're waiting for Ibn Yahya, the so-called son of the Messiah, to come back. Brother Ibn Anwar, I was getting some feedback from you a second ago. I'm not sure if you adjusted that or not, but I'm not hearing myself at this point. Your mic's on. So, yeah, we're going to wait and see what happens with him. But once again, on Saturday, the debate with Brother Mustafa Hijazi and Sean Masters will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And they'll be debating the topic, which is from God, Islam or Christianity. And I'm looking for the flyer, and I can't find what I did with the flyer right now. In my 5 dunya. So I'm a little bit leery because of something I just said. I see in my 5 dunya. So assalamu alaikum, brother. Are you there? I'm not sure if I can trust this individual. Let me see here. Yeah. My hesitation is that someone could use the same name and come on and try to pull some kind of a stunt. So I'm a little bit leery. Is something up? No, I'm just a bit concerned because I don't want someone to come on and start flashing stuff. So I'm gonna bring you into the platform, but immediately speak. And we'll see what happens with this. So, brother, in my 5 dunya, you're on.
Nigga. Shut up, fatty, get up.
That's what I thought. Okay, so, yep. You see how that works? So brother,
you got some Jedi powers there, Kenny.
Huh?
You anticipated.
Yeah. So, I wasn't born 5 minutes ago, so the person saying, "Loser, get a real job." Okay, well, now you're saying in the private chat saying I'm a mega loser. Well, it seems that someone who's trolling would be more of a loser than someone who's actually here. I am. My name's Kenny Bomer. I'm the author of the book Consider Islam. I'm the host of Consider This TV. Alhamdulillah. So let's go ahead and bounce this rascal on out of here. So there he goes. He's been banned. So alhamdulillah. So there's all kind of people out there. So brother, in my 5 dunya, I didn't think it was you. So yeah, there's a lot of imposters out there. And there's another one that just joined as well. So it seems. So these people are something else. Islam is the truth. Okay, well, Islam is the truth, but once again, you have to turn your camera on backstage. Once again, I've got a new feature with the platform that does track all IP addresses, and it is actually a federal offense to come on and expose yourself and to post pornography. So just for anyone out there that's anticipating trying to do that, you might want to think twice about that, okay? So your IP address is being tracked, and the requirement to come on the platform is that you will need to turn your camera on at least backstage so I can see who you are. And we'll take it from there. And the reason I need to see you backstage is because backstage everything is recorded as well. So I need to be able to see who you are because it's recorded, so that if you pull some kind of stunt or shenanigans, then your face is being recorded, your IP address is being recorded. It's actually tracking wherever you're coming from, what stream you're coming from. So we'll round you up in one way or another, inshallah. So let that be known. But meanwhile, we're waiting for Isa Ibn Yahya, who's been contacting me all day. And he is completely lost in his delusion. And obviously, I named it the Jaws in the Midst. And guess what? So if you've seen the banner that had up with what looked like a Grim Reaper, all I did, I was going to make a quick banner because I literally planned to do this within the last hour because he kept on and on and on. So I don't know where he's at right now. But I just simply Jaw and images pop up, and lo and behold, it was very similar to what he was wearing in the debate the other day. I mean, it was the same thing. Basically, he's got his hood on. He's all in black. And so I clicked on Dajjal, and it had a different logo. It says Dajjal something or another. And I removed that when I made the edits on it. But literally, what he had on the other day in the debate was the very first thing that I seen when I Googled Dajjal. Matter of fact, if you're out there right now, Google Dajjal, and you'll probably see the same photo pop up. So I wasn't just trying to make mockery of him. I was just looking for something to use that said Dajjal. That way I didn't have to. I was trying to hurry up and get it done. So yeah. Walaikum salam, Sister Manaz. I tried to actually tag you, and I don't know why it wouldn't go through, but I tried to tag you on Facebook. But yeah, he just listen. He truly believes that people are taking what he's saying seriously. He really does. And walaikum salam, brother Abu Yazid. Click on the link, brother, and come join the show. Matter of fact, I'll post the link again, and I'll post the link for you. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So yeah, he's been contacting me all day, sending me more screenshots. Like I said the other day, yesterday, he contacted me the first time in the middle of the 3 o'clock in the morning. He said the link isn't working for me. Brother, try to use brother Abu Yazid, use the Chrome browser, and it should work just fine. The StreamYard works best with the Chrome browser. So try that if you would. And you can do that through your phone or on your laptop, whichever one. So meanwhile, we are waiting on. Okay, I see Islam is the answer backstage. Turned his camera on, and so we'll see what happens with that. Show your face, brother. Okay, all right. Okay. Let me think about that for a moment. Well, yeah, Sister Manaz, I thought the same thing. So I have no contact him at all. But usually what happens after someone loses a debate, they usually make some kind of a response video to it, or they go to social media and they start making excuses for things that they had every opportunity to say during the debate that they didn't say. Literally during the debate, what did he do? He just read from the book. And he step of the way he was proving exactly what I was arguing, that it was plagiarism. And I talked about the mental illness, and I wasn't trying to just make mockery of him or anything like that, but I couldn't. It's like stepping into a courtroom, right? You have to bring all the evidence, and I can't very well know that he's told me he had bipolar disease and all those things, and that's not his fault. But there's things that I knew that I cannot avoid talking about those things. If I'm going to step into the court, then I'm going to step into the court with all the evidence that I have. And part of that evidence was producing evidence for other people who have made these similar claims in the past. There's been a bunch of them. And each one of these points either fit with what his narrative is, right? So I had to talk about the plagiarism, which is obvious. Also, the mental instability. I had to talk about that. So it wasn't just trying to make fun of him personally. It's just something that had to be discussed as if in a court of law. So I believe I proved my case. I got a little bit rough in the question and answer period because I know that he literally was trying to lie at one point in regards to when we were talking about San Francisco. He did specifically tell me, ask him specifically, where does the book say to go for the Hajj? And he says that it doesn't say anything about the Hajj. So it's to continue as stated in the Quran. He says, but in regards to that question, the book does say to come to San Francisco to America, to San Francisco in particular. But note, he answered that right when I was asking him about the Hajj. So obviously the book is telling people to come to America for what? What? Just at random, just come to America, go to San Francisco, and do what? Travel the curvy road. Matter of fact, I've traveled that curvy road. I don't know the name of it, but to do what? So it's no coincidence. I mean, I just literally had asked him about the Hajj, and his response was that it doesn't say anything about the Hajj, but it does say to come to America. It says to come to San Francisco in particular. So I just asked him about the Hajj. So am I not supposed to apply that to the Hajj? I didn't ask him about how many chickens old McDonald had on his farm. I asked him, what does the book say about the Hajj? And he did say it doesn't say anything about the Hajj, but it specifies once again to come to America, to come to San Francisco. And then right after that, he produced a passage from the book called The Hidden Prophecies, where it's saying to come to San Francisco. It doesn't say San Francisco directly, but it says come to the city of the Golden Gate and all those things. So he was basically saying that it was people were supposed to come for the Hajj in San Francisco. So, alhamdulillah. So I don't know where he's at. Let me send him a text real quick. Brother Abi Yazid, did you try it again with the Chrome browser? Yeah, Missy Domer, she says, yeah, he damned himself by admitting his book is plagiarized and his likes were purchased. Absolutely. And not only that, I discussed different types of plagiarism, and literally that book, it's not even a book. I don't know why we're calling it a book. It's only on the website. So it's not even a book. It hasn't been published. No editors have looked at it. No proofreaders have looked at it. It's not a book. It's just some writings on an internet page, website, right? So it's not actually a book. So whatever. I mean, I've got let's clarify. I've got my second book is in the works, but it's a book, but it's not a. So, anyways, neither here nor there. But literally, in regards to plagiarism, the different types of plagiarism hit that work. So-called, I don't even call it work. That mockery, that hijacking through highlighting, literally fits every one of those forms of plagiarism to a T. So it's complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. But in his mind, in his narcissism, in the mental illness, and I'm not making fun of the mental illness. It's just a reality, right? And so, in that, he truly thinks that people are taking what he's saying seriously, and he's calling us unbelievers. So my response to him earlier was, "Am I an unbeliever because I don't believe anything that writing is saying?" Well, yes, I am an unbeliever in that case. I don't believe any of it. Obviously stuff is plagiarized from the Quran, so I believe what the Quran states in its original form. But as far as that book, believing in that book, yes, I'm a disbeliever, no question about it. I'm an unbeliever. I'm a disbeliever. I'm a kafir. I disbelieve it. I mean, I have no reason to believe it. So it seems that maybe we did have a character come on. I could be wrong, but a character tried to come on. He was backstage. He turned his camera on momentarily, but he seemed like he was He was up to something. So let me send Issa let me ask him if he's coming right now. So we'll see what happens with that. Brother Ibn Anwar, are you there? Yeah, Mindy Domir, you got that right. Mindy said he never would be able to publish it. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Absolutely. There's no question about it. And I'm curious how that would apply to even a website, because he's actually I don't know if there's laws about that. I've never looked into that. That's something to consider, because he's actually stealing literally those books that I showed during the debate. There were 20 books, and he said that there were other books besides that, and literally every one of those books, pretty much every one of those books, supposedly his father highlighted from. And he said there were other books beyond that, but that they were discarded when there was some kind of a move that was made. So there's many more books, and so I'm wondering how that would apply to online. If you're going on and you're giving a particular work a name as if it's yours and trying to pass it off as if it's yours, if there's some kind of legal issues about that. There must be. I'm sure there's got to be. That's something to look into. So I sent him a message, and we did not get him. I didn't get a response yet. Brother Ibn Anwar, are you there right now? Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ibn Anwar. Get your pen. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm trying looking at the text. So listen, this Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Brother Mustafa Hijazi will be debating a gentleman by the name of I keep forgetting this guy's name. Anyway, there'll be a debate on Saturday at 6 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brother Mustafa Hijazi, they'll be debating the topic of which is from God, Islam or Christianity. When as I said, my brother's an attorney, I can try to find out for you. I'll dig in online for a response to that query. Yeah, there's got to be something out there. Someone's trying to pass something off as though it's theirs. And I'm beginning to question, I'll be honest, like today, he said via text, he said that the final chapter that's being worked on today is addressing all of us, all the unbelievers. So it makes me wonder if his father has had anything to do with it whatsoever, or if his father maybe was reading through these books, just reading. Maybe he's just a reader. I don't know. I mean, maybe his father made these claims. I don't know, but he's made some kind of comments during the debate the other day, or maybe it was yesterday, but about some kind of marks on the back or something, some kind of marks on the back, and he's trying to apply that to his so-called prophet father, the Messiah, so-called Messiah, being the last of the prophets. So he's being ripped from the back, like the prophet David's shirt was ripped from the back by the lady in the Bible who's ripped his shirt because she's trying to seduce him or whatever. So Mindy says, I wanted to ask him last night. It's sad his father passed, but it's curious that he's only publishing his works after his pass. Yeah. I know it. Yeah, and I've questioned a number of people have questioned whether or not maybe he's making all that up, just trying to pass himself off. Yeah, Joseph, you're right, brother. Joseph, not David. David his shirt was ripped from the back. That's right. It was Joseph. You're totally right. Prophet Yusuf. That's right. Absolutely. My mistake. So yeah, I mean, it's so I'm waiting on him right now. Like I said, I wasn't planning to go live today, but I don't know where he's at. He contacted me all day, but then when I said, "All right, well, let's do this. I'll bring you on the show," and well, my words were, well, I told him I'll pick him apart. I had so much more that I wanted to address during the debate, but obviously the time was a factor. You can't get into everything, but there's so much more I can talk to him about. So we'll see what happens. Give him a few more minutes. That's a good question. So Tariq is asking, Assalamu alaikum, is asking, is he doing it intentionally or is just something messed up in his mind? Well, either way, he's doing it intentionally either way. But is there something messed up in his mind? Obviously. It's this is common. I talked about, if you didn't hear the debate the other day, I talked about something that's common amongst people who make these types of claims. It's called a delusion of grandeur, which is, people are familiar with that, but that's actually a psychological illness, a mental illness, a delusion of grandeur, primarily with what's called DRC, which is delusions with religious content. And you'll find that people who suffer from that, it's not their fault. They have a mental illness, but people who suffer from that, they believe that they're divine, or there's some kind of they have some type of stature that they don't actually have. So even despite the evidence against them, they still continue to believe it, even when everything's stacked against them. They still keep pushing it. They still keep pushing it. So I mean, he's obviously got a mental illness. He could be looking for fame. Walaikum salam, brother Mike Peace, rather. Yeah, he could be looking for fame. People are up to all kind of different shenanigans. It could be just a complete imposter, for that matter. But what concerns me is that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did say that, and I mentioned it during the debate. There's 3 authentic hadith, the Sahih hadith, where the Prophet, peace be upon him, says that there's 27 to 30 Dajjals that will come, false prophets, before the Antichrist comes. And so, I mean, we can either just chalk it up to someone just playing games, or it's just complete mental illness that's the issue, or this person is a Dajjal. I mean, it's obviously the claim is consistent with what the Dajjals are going to come and say. They're going to claim they're the Messiah. They're going to claim they're a prophet, the final prophet. And Brother Ibn Anwar, are you there?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Sure. Yeah. So
No.
yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying that his claims are very consistent with what the Dajjals will come to do. So
Is he actually coming?
I don't know. He literally, right before I sent you the message saying that I was going to go ahead and have the show, we were talking about it, and he was supposed to come. So I don't know where he's at. Yeah. So I have no clue. So I'll just give it a few more minutes. I was doing some writing, so I wasn't planning to go live today, but since he was so persistent in sending me these messages all day long, maybe he got cold feet here at the end. But I don't know. Well, yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll give it a few more minutes, inshallah. But this is a good time to tell everybody once again about the debate with Brother Mustafa Hijazi and Sean Masters. His name is Sean. I keep forgetting his name. Sean Masters, which will be on a Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And They will be debating the topic, which is from God, Christianity, Islam, or Christianity. Matter of fact, I finally found the flyer for it, so I'm going to show it real quick. Yes. So there it is. Alhamdulillah. So yes, once again, Brother Mustafa Hijazi and Sean Masters will be debating which is from God, Islam, or Christianity. I'll be moderating the debate. So at 7 p.m. Once again, that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in Central Time Zone, it's 6 p.m. Obviously, and if you're on the West Coast, it's 5 p.m. So yeah, that'll be coming up on Saturday. So. So, brother Ibn Anwar, I think you got a little heated with Michael on Facebook earlier. We don't even have to bring up what the topic was about, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
people are gonna come out of the woodworks on that one, but we'll deal with it accordingly. But yeah, so once again, like I said, I was doing some writing today. I wasn't planning on going live, so I'm not sure where this character is. I guess he got some cold feet, but I do thank everyone for coming on irregardless. And for following the show and supporting the show. I certainly appreciate it. And once again, if you know any reverts out there, if you're a revert, usually on Mondays I want to do the reasons to revert segment, but I had a sister that keeps kind of falling through on that. So I had her lined up last week. I had to make an adjustment at the last second. Today she was supposed to be planned, but this morning I didn't get the right response from her. So I planned to not go live today. I was going to do some writing, and I was doing some writing. But you haven't scheduled the next debate. Yeah, the next debate, I am Motamin. The next debate is this coming Saturday. It's Brother Mustafa Hijazi. Like I just showed the banner for it, or the flyer for it. And it'll be Brother Mustafa Hijazi and Sean Masters debating Sean Masters on the topic, which is from God, Islam, or Christianity. Okay, Phoenix, I see you have a question. Go ahead and present your question, if you'd like. But once again, thank everyone for supporting the show and watching and all that. It's much appreciated. So I'm waiting for Phoenix to present the question that he has. Okay, sure. Said 1 second. Yeah, so no. Okay. Is the word Haman in Arabic spelled properly, or is it a scribal error? Brother Ibn Anwar, that one's for you. I'm not sure about that one. Haman? Brother Ibn Anwar, are you there? I personally am not familiar with what Quran 28:6. Let me look. Well, I'm not familiar with the word Haman. I can't remember what this means. Bear with me 1 second, and I'll try to answer your question, inshallah. 28:6. Okay. and to establish them in the land, and through them show Pharaoh Haman. Oh. Okay, so yeah, so Haman. So it's commonly believed that Haman was in charge of architecture during the time of the reign of the Pharaoh at the time of Moses. So Haman was in charge of architecture. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So the Haman is a name. So it's yeah. That's why I guess I wasn't familiar with it. So yeah, Haman is the name of an architect in the time of Moses under the reign of the Pharaoh. Spelled Hamim. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Let me look something up real quick. Nevertheless, it's a name, so it's not a really it wouldn't be a significant issue either way. It's just simply a name, so it's not really an issue. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't alter anything. It's a name. Maybe it's some people say for the name Jesus, they pronounce it Jesus, but it's neither here nor there. Okay, so yeah, in the translations it's spelled Haman. So once again, and to establish them in the land of power, and let the Pharaoh and Haman and their hosts experience what they feared. One of the people that So let me look at something real quick. Okay, so according to Muhammad Assad, page 590, note 6, it says Haman must be rather than a proper name. Ha-Amin, the title given to the high priest in the cult of Amon that was prevalent in ancient Egypt. He held a rank second to that of the pharaoh and served as his chief advisor. Another argument is that the psychist Morris Bukai, who claims that the name Haman occurs in some ancient Egyptian inscriptions, notably in one of the Hof Museum in Vienna, is listed as Rank's Dictionary of Egypt's personal names as Vorteher. I can't pronounce that. It says, however, Abdullah David and MSM Saifullah have detailed a scientific discussion about the identity of Haman. According to them, Haman may be simply an Arabized version of the ancient Egyptian name Amana, or Iman, or Amana, and it was used in the title for a high priest as well as an architect in ancient Egypt during the reign of the pharaoh. So it's really a non-issue. It's not historical reference. Yeah, the spelling of the name is neither here nor there. So the translators are going to maybe they're spelling it in different ways, but that's neither here nor there. It's not an issue either way. Let me check something else real quick for you, inshallah. Bear with me one moment. Yeah, so in Arabic it's Fur Awana Hamana. So it's not a big deal. It's pronounced Hamana, so it's not. Yeah. So in the translation it says Haman, but it's pronounced in Arabic Hamana. So Hamana, right? Well, yeah, right. So it's not a big deal. Let me see what this. Ha-Aman. So Isa Ibn Yahya just sent me a message saying he'll give him a few minutes. So we'll give him a few minutes. So so right here it says the compound designation Ha-Aman was given to every high priest, the Egyptian god Aman. So Haman used in the Holy Quran in verses 28:38, Surah 28:38, Surah 29:39, and Surah 40:24 is not a proper name, but the Arabic form of Ha-Aman, the high priest of Aman, the sun god of Egypt. So similarly, Pharaoh is not a proper name, but a title assumed by Egyptian rulers at the time of Moses, Haman. So it says Haman is a caretaker charged with construction work. Once again, an architect. At the time in question, the cult of Aman was dominant in Egypt, and his high priest Ha-Aman or Haman held a rank second only to that of the king. So similar to the roles of popes in the Middle Ages. It says similar to the roles of the popes in the Middle Ages. So the point is strengthened by the fact that Pharaoh demanded that Haman erect for him a lofty tower from which he could have a look at the God of Moses. We see reference of that in chapter 28, verse 38, also chapter 40, verse 36, which may be an allusion to the function of the high priest as his chief architect. It says the name of the high priest was Nubenef, who held this position under Ramses II and his son Merneptah. So this Haman is not to be confused with the Persian Haman of the Old Testament in the book of Esther, chapter 3, verse 1.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
Thank you for that, Kenny. And Phoenix, that it's a non-issue, as Kenny mentioned earlier, right? Those that claim that herein is a spelling mistake is basing that postulation on a faulty logic. The Quran in Arabic, revealed by God, has a prerogative to name names as it sees fit. So the Quran calling Musa bil-lughat al-Arabiyyah is sahih. It is not khata, even though we know that in Hebrew it's Moshe. Right? The Quran calling the first man Adam is not making a mistake, even though we know that in Hebrew it's Adam. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a non-issue. It's not an issue at all. Also, Egyptian, when you read the text by reading the hieroglyphs, right? As far as I know, the hieroglyphs do not tell the reader, and of course, Egyptologists cracked the code of the Egyptian language, the hieroglyphics, after the finding after the Rosetta stone was found, right? The hieroglyphics do not give you the vowel points, as in how long should the sound be made in the word Haman. That is not revealed in hieroglyphics. Do you know that? Should it be Haman? 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 We don't know.
Yeah.
The hieroglyphics do not tell us. So there is no mistake there. There is no mistake.
Yeah.
It's an issue. And anyone wasting a second more on this, well, they've nothing better to do, I guess.
Yeah. Anytime when you're dealing with an issue like that regarding a name and how a name is pronounced, it's completely a non-issue. Once again, keep in mind the name Jesus. It's spelled, Jesus. In English, it's pronounced Jesus. In Spanish, it's pronounced Jesus. But it's a non-issue. It's not. It doesn't matter. Sometimes with Jesus, they put some little marks for Jesus in Spanish. They have some little marks. I'm not exactly sure where they go, but it doesn't it doesn't change anything. It's still It's referring to the same individual.
He has so many names. He's Isa, he's Jesus, he's Yesu, he's Yeshua, he's Yeshua, he's Yehoshua, and I don't see anyone wasting an ink arguing which form is the most correct. Nobody would do that.
No offense, Phoenix, but it's not. It's completely a complete non-issue. It's just not. It's not even worth fooling with. There's so many more things to discuss, and that's
Phoenix. Yeah. So I hope this little response of ours has helped you, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone comes along and tries to play games with you or poke fun at the faith by raising such non-questions, then you have your answer. You can respond to the person. Well.
Yeah, he said the clarification makes sense, so that's good. Alhamdulillah. So Isa Ibn Yahya, he sent a message just a few minutes ago, said he'll be here in a few minutes. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh, let me send Brother Ziyad. I forgot to send Brother Ziyad the link. Brother, I've got way too many tabs open. I've got way too many tabs open. It slows down your computer when you do that. I don't know how much, but it slow it down. It certainly seems it does at times. But I've got different things that I'm working on, and I don't want to lose them. And I guess the thing is, I've got them saved in the favorites, so I can access them. But it's like there's certain things that I want to be reminded of, certain things that I'm trying to deal with at different times whenever I feel motivated to work on these certain different projects. And so I don't want to X out on some of these. Brother, what's going on with the coronavirus in Malaysia?
Alhamdulillah, we are coping quite well thus far. The number of infections have mostly reduced to a single digit. Typically, no local transmissions.
What did you say about the single digit?
Single digit transmission, as in daily transmissions, cases, as in it might be 2 persons or 3 persons.
Wow.
1 person. Yeah.
In Houston, it's worse than it's been the whole time. It's bad. So whoever's backstage named Islam is the answer, I think. Islam is the truth. Yes, we deal with Christians quite often. That's what the show's about. I mean, we try to share Islam with people, but in the process of it, we talk with Christians. Brother Ziyad, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
How are you today?
Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
How are you guys? Alhamdulillah, all is well, all is well. Waiting on the son of the so-called Messiah. He's supposed to be here. He sent me a message just a few minutes ago, said give him a few. So still waiting. I told him what time, but he didn't.
Hasn't he really embarrassed himself enough?
Well, I guess not. Like I was saying before you came on, he's been sending me messages all day, and he's still saying the same stuff. He's still saying, "All you unbelievers." I said, yeah, "Look, if you're calling me in particular an unbeliever because I don't believe this nonsense that you're propagating, I agree. I'm a complete disbeliever in everything that you're saying, so I have no problem with that. You're not hurting my feelings by saying this." He's so far outside of the fold of Islam. It's just so absurd.
Ridiculous.
I told him today, don't call me brother anymore. We can be brothers in humanity and all that good stuff, but just don't call me brother anymore. I don't want any. You're not my brother, and I don't mean to be harsh. I don't mean to be rude, but don't call me brother like I'm your Muslim brother. I'm not your Muslim brother. You're not a Muslim. As far as I'm concerned. Why? Because you can't say the things that he says and call yourself a Muslim. You just can't. The fundamentals are gone. They're just wiped out. You're going to tell Muslims that have been praying by prostrating for 1,440 years that they're supposed to stand up and look at heaven, look to the sky when they're praying? Come on, man. That's not Islam. Islam is submission. What's better? Standing? Is that more in submission or prostrating? I mean, obviously prostrating. So what's better? What would the act itself? What would Allah more prefer? Obviously, he wants a submitting heart, right? He wants a submitting heart first and foremost. But Allah says in the Quran to remember me when you're standing, sitting, or lying on your side. So obviously, some people can't prostrate. In the masjid, sometimes the people that have some kind of medical issue, or the older brothers or sisters, they sit in the chair for the prayer, but they still go through the motions as though they're doing the prostration. A lot. But quite simply, humbling yourself as low as you can go on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that's submission. That's Islam. So I don't know where he's at.
I'm looking at the private chat now, and there's a message there's another one that just came in. It says, if I could read this, do you guys refute Christians often? Well, the response to that is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا, which translates into, I seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. And when truth has come, Islamic truth has come, falsehood perishes, for falsehood is always bound to perish. And there's another message there, which I don't know. Oh, okay. You can go ahead and read that and tell me your opinion. It's in the private chat.
I think he thinks that Issa's coming on, that he's a Christian, but he's not a Christian, and he's not really a Muslim either, to be honest. What he is,
he has mixed Mormonism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Taoism, Zoroastrianism.
Yes.
What else did I find?
Mormonism.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that at the beginning.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Yes.
He has mixed also the Bhagavad Gitas. He made it all together into one.
What's that time? Scientology? All of it.
Assalamu alaikum, Ziyad.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين. وأنت كمان بخير. وأنت كمان بخير.
Well, his faith is nothing stupendous, nothing unique, not sophisticated, because it is just Baha'ism 2.0.
Yeah.
Baha'ism. You can call it mishmash 2.0. When you take all the, you just smash all the religions together and just make them into one. The same thing as the Roman Emperor Constantine. At some time in history, he was so sick and tired of what was going on with the people, because there was a dichotomy in opinions, etc. There were the idol worshippers who were worshipping the Roman gods, and they were the monotheists who were worshipping Islam at that period of time, the true followers of Isa alayhi salam. And At some point, he gets pissed off. He says, "Look at this. I've had enough of this. We're going to have a great meeting, but before we have the meeting, that was before the grand meeting of all the popes, etc., whatever. He says, I'm going to send my soldiers to their homes." This is true in history. You can read about it. And he threatened all those who wanted to say no regarding the alleged deity of Jesus, peace be upon him. He threatened their families. He threatened to put them in jail. He threatened to cut their heads off. He threatened to rape their wives, kill their children, etc., etc. And they were forced to go to that first meeting and say, unanimously, they all had to say yes, that Jesus is the Son of God, Jesus is God, etc., etc. So basically, he wanted to smash all these religions into one. What Isa ibn Yahya is doing right now, he's doing the same thing as that Roman Emperor Constantine. But the reason why he did it was for political reasons. This guy is doing it for some kind of wacko job, whatever reasons.
Yeah,
that's what I suspect. And I doubted that his father actually wrote that book. I highly doubt it.
Well, he made a comment to me today that made me question it even more. He said that in regards to who he calls unbelievers, disbelievers, he said that the final chapter that he happened to be working on today is actually addressing all of this. Well, how convenient. How convenient. Really? So after the debate, you decided to go ahead and get together and write a refutation against all the unbelievers who disagree with you. I mean, I don't know that's what he did, but
and it's revelation, revelation. I thought the book was finished.
But you see him coming out of Walmart with a bunch of highlighters and. I mean, my goodness, man.
I don't know if the brother saw my own, in inverted commas, revelation, brother. Brother, are you there?
Brother
Ibn Anwar? Ibn Anwar, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm just finishing my sandwich. Yeah, you were saying?
MashaAllah. Yeah. I had my own revelation. I showed this to Brother Kenny and he died laughing. Look. Can you read that?
There's 100%. That's yeah. I mean,
this in inverted commas. This is the closest revelation we're ever going to get from God. and it's only 6 words.
Funny. That was so funny the day, Brother Ibn Anwar, everything. What's his name was reading through the book, and he said the number of times he says inverted commas. that was funny, man. Inverted commas. He probably said it about 40 times.
I was trying to the word. I was trying to the word.
The day that you remember when he was reading, he was saying inverted commas, inverted commas. and you're right. I mean, there's so many words that are in inverted commas. It's like, what is that? What does that mean? What's being implied here with these inverted commas? What is this about? Every chapter is like that, and I wonder if he's going to go after the fact, after Brother Ibn Anwar brought that issue up, if he's going to go after the fact and change it all, take the inverted commas out. I bet he does. I bet he makes little adjustments along the way.
I would like to thank our beloved sister Munazza Awan for bringing it up. Yes, it was the first Council of Nicaea that took place in 325 AD. Before the council, the soldiers were sent to many homes of people that had said from the beginning, we're going to go to say no. And they told them, if you dare go say no, we will either imprison you or kill you, etc., etc., or both. So they were forced to go, and they had more than 100 different, if I remember correctly, more than 100 different gospels, in inverted commas, gospels at that time, or at least 90. And they decided we're going to take this one, this one, this one, this one, and then they ruled out in the second one that took place in 380 something, if I remember correctly. They ruled out that whoever has any other gospel of any other apocryphal book or apocryphal gospel, that person is to be killed.
No.
This was a ruling. This was a ruling that they had at that time. And think, alhamdulillah, some gospels, inverted commas gospels, survive up to this day. And if you read them, you will be shocked. Like, for example, the Gospel of Thomas, or the Gospel of Judas, or the Gospel of Adam and Eve, or the Gospel of, what's the other Gospel that they say, which is supposedly fabricated, but it exists in three museums in the world?
Barnabas?
Barnabas, yes.
Yeah.
I have it here.
Oh, do you really? I'd like to see that myself. I've never, I've read through it, but I don't have a copy of it myself.
39th chapter of the Gospel of Barnabas, not according to Barnabas, written by first person. He writes in first person.
Did I tell you that I got the Schofield Bible after we were talking about it that night?
Did you see the name Allah?
Yeah, and I did see that. And while we were sitting and talking about it, Mika actually ordered it. So she said, when the show ended that night, she said, "Oh, that Schofield Bible will be here.
They have it in this. They have it in the States. Yes, I know that.
We ordered it.
If I remember correctly, it is written with one L, but it's still Allah.
Yeah, it's still Allah. Yeah.
If you look at the footnotes, after every time the word God is mentioned, he says in the footnotes it's Allah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Mindy Nomir, she said that we should ask Isa how the Christians are receiving his messages. That's really a twofold question, because for one, on one end, they're going to completely reject him regarding his claim that his father was the Messiah. They're going to absolutely completely reject that. But they will also certain Christians will use his nonsense in order to attack Islam. So on one end, they would reject him completely because of the claims that his father's a Messiah, but they would also use it as ammunition in their attacks against Islam. That's what I tried to express in my opening statement. That's the reason why I thought it was important to address this issue, because the Islamophobes will use people like him to find anything they can in order to attack Islam any way they can.
Well, Kenny, you actually.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go pray Fajr and I'll be right back. Okay, inshallah.
You actually won the debate hands down. The moment, and I was like, "What in the world is the matter with this person?" It's like entering the twilight zone.
Yeah,
because you basically showed, and he had absolutely no qualms agreeing with what you were showing. In fact, he gave you that material.
Yes, he did.
Namely, that his father went to Barnes and Nobles or some other bookstore, Borders or something, I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And purchased some books off the shelves, started reading them and started highlighting them, and literally plucked those verses out of their sources, as how you would when you're plagiarizing something or when you're copying something for whatever purpose, academic or otherwise, and then utilizing those words verbatim many a time to create your own book that you now claim to be yours.
That's
and
right.
Then claim revelation. Huh?
Yeah. and not only that, like someone right now, and I understand this, Brother Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum, brother. He's saying that he feels sorry for him. All right. So the thing is, I understand that we should be polite to people. We should, Allah says to be patient and all those things and dealing with antagonists. But at the same time, privately, this guy is contacting me, and the things that he's saying are so arrogant and so narcissistic that it's like, okay, at some point there's got to be a line that's drawn. Yeah. There's got to be a line that's drawn.
But that is some kind of new level of heterodoxy that I never thought, I never even imagined that, I mean, it's one thing to believe yourself or believe someone having received revelation because he hears voices or he, had some non-tangible experience of the supernatural, the metaphysical. That's one thing. We're quite familiar with that. But to have someone who obviously in front of you is reading out of a book and highlighting certain words, sentences, and literally copying those sentences
it's so
and
bizarre.
putting those sentences onto a piece of paper and then say, "This is revelation from."
And then tell you that you're wrong because you don't believe it. Not only that, but you and everyone else is wrong. 2 billion Muslims in the world today, and all of y'all are wrong. Everyone. I mean, it's so. I can't. I'll be honest. I can't believe that I've even have dealt with this. I can't believe it.
Well, I tell you one thing.
It's so bizarre.
I tell you one thing. He will not survive even a half a semester at university if he followed his father's footprints of plagiarizing and claiming the work to be his own. Yeah.
I mean, my goodness gracious. It's so just completely
bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Twilight Zone. I mean, so literally, like you wasn't on the show, but I was like, I could have literally debated a Dajjal, one of the Dajjals that were mentioned, because if his father doesn't, by some chance, didn't have anything to do with it, even if he does, the Prophet, peace be upon him, predicted there will be 27 to 30 Dajjals, 4 of which will be women, that will come before the day of judgment, before the Antichrist comes, before the Antichrist, right? So the Dajjal is going to come and say these very type things, claim that they're the Messiah, the final messenger, all these things, and he's literally done each and every one of these things. So he could be I know it sounds crazy. It sounds as crazy and bizarre as it is, right? But it could be. It really could be. He could be a legitimate Dajjal. I know people think of Dajjal. You think they've got some kind of political position. Not necessarily, because there's some people, like I went through a list yesterday on yesterday's show of 10 people that claim to be the Messiah. Enrique Cristo, just a list. I read through their bios and all that, and some of these people have 6 million followers, 10,000 followers. Some of them have no followers, but they still fall in this category that was predicted. And so it's, we can sense Muslims, Christians, Jews alike. We can sense that we're certainly approaching. I mean, we already know that we're the closest people to the day of judgment, to the day of judgment. Obviously, we know that. Will it come in our lifetime? Will we see these things develop? Well, I think we're seeing the stages of them develop as we're experiencing it. So it's this guy could literally be a Dajjal. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it's just it's not any crazier than him saying that he says he's the son of the Christ, and that he's the Antichrist at the same time. What do you hear what you're saying? So it's so just beyond normal and just complete insanity. Complete insanity. And I'm not trying to mock him for mental illness, but there's a fine line there, because there's a narcissism, and I guess that's mental illness as well, to be quite honest. So there's so many issues there that you got to look at the big picture and say, all right, well, someone's got mental illness, but at some point along the way, he can function. He can. I don't know. It's complete insanity. I can't believe I've even come across. I'll be honest. He annoys me worse than any Islamophobe that I've ever dealt with. And I've dealt with some very harsh ones, especially one atheist in particular, an anonymous atheist that I really can't stand. But this guy, because he claims to be a Muslim. You seen him the very first time that we interacted with him. Actually, the very first time we interacted with him, he read something from that book, and because it had part of the Quran in there, I thought he just threw in something from the Bible to compliment it, and I complimented him about it. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if he was on the show when that happened. Do you remember that? Yeah. But at the time, see, I was fooled by it. And I didn't realize at the time. I thought I didn't know what he was doing. That's the first time I heard him speak.
Yeah,
he
I knew what it was even at the time. Yeah, I've come across the website before.
Oh yeah, so I had no clue what it was.
Private messaging Ijaz about it. Ijaz also has come across it, and
I'd never seen it before. So. All I know is he said some stuff from the Quran, and he kind of backed it up with some stuff from the Bible. We know that we believe some of the stuff in the Bible is consistent with, the Quran verifies some of the things in the Bible and all those complexities. So I complimented him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I think I said that's beautiful or something like that, because it made a point that was being made. But at the time, of course, I had no clue that he was saying, that he thinks his father is the final prophet, and that his father was getting high in a vehicle. I don't know if you even knew that his father was getting high, and the angel comes. But at one time, it was the angel Gabriel. And then the second time he told me that it was just a man. So which is it? Is the angel coming from the skies or just a man? Anyway, so his father is getting high when he's 27 years old, and some man or angel comes, taps him on the shoulder, and gives him a cup. He drinks from the cup. Now he's got power of interpretation of all these various scriptures. So I had no clue that's what he was all about. I just thought he was a Muslim that was backing statement with verses of the Quran, and then threw in, for the Christian standpoint, to address the Christians, he used some of the verses from the Bible to justify it, and that's what I thought. So I was duped in that regard. I was totally. I thought about that afterwards. I was like, man, that's gross deception. Had no clue whatsoever. The people that are hitting like on his YouTube channel, it's the same thing. They're not aware of what he actually believes and what he's actually saying. And when they're coming across, when it says the prophet John, he's the final messenger of the seal of the prophets and all that, and then they're throwing up their hands like, well, wait a minute. This is not Islam. And the comments on his website verify that. So I don't know where he's at. I sent him another text asking him how much longer. He hasn't responded to it. So at 7:42, he said, give me a few. At 7:57, I asked him how much longer. It's already 8:16 right now, my time. So he's probably listening, and I don't blame him. It's probably best that he doesn't come, because he's got nothing to. What's he gonna do? Come on and read the book? That's not. I mean, that's what he did during the debate. And get this. So he tells me by text today that he wasn't there to debate. He was there. He was there to tell people about Islam, about Allah. He was there to tell people about Allah. So you came to a debate as one of the debaters, but you weren't there to debate. You were there to read. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Fake. So I don't know where he's at. It's been 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes.
Those 6 words are more accurate as any of his book.
That's right.
Yeah. Sorry if I took a long time. I went. I washed. Sure. I ate something before I washed, etc. To pray.
Yeah.
Because it was close for me, because I'm planning on fasting today. Doing it for health benefits, to be honest.
That's good. Good.
Yeah, because I have to lose just a few kilos.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but I don't think I took a long time, did I?
No, brother, you're fine.
Okay, great. Usually I'm fast. Usually.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna give him about 10 more minutes. I've got some writing to do. That's what I wanted to get some stuff done this evening, so I didn't plan to go live, but he seemed to have a lot to say by text. And at one point I told him, look, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you but via text. I don't like doing that. I won't do that. So if you want to come to the show, we'll have a discussion at the show. I'm not gonna text with you all day long. So he just kept on. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, once again, on this coming Saturday, Brother Mustafa Hijazi will be debating once again Sean Masters on the topic of which is from God, Christianity, or Islam or Christianity. And once again, that'll be on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that debate.
Okay. And one of the interesting things about that person, Jesus being John, is as you said, his insistence on describing himself or labeling himself Muslim, which is the strangest thing. Confusion in terms, because he makes it clear that as far as we are concerned, we're wrong. Because to us, Muslim equals basically the five pillars of Islam as they are, and whatever that entails, and the 6 pillars of faith, right? Yeah. That is what Muslim is. But he and his religion throws the bulk of both arkan out of the whole thing, and retain what? Even the shahada is is cut up into pieces, right?
Yeah.
He retains only the first part and abandons the second. So by what definition of Muslim is the person Muslim? If Muslim means following certain things, believing those certain things, logically, disbelieving those things makes you not a Muslim. So if you insist on being a Muslim, then you must have a different definition of a Muslim, which now brings up different questions to the fore. Number one is, what gives you the right to hijack a name, a word that has been copyrighted for more than 1,400 years by billions of people, well, more than a billion at least, for sure.
Yeah.
And saying that the whole damn lot of them have been wrong, and I now am right. 1,400 years later, I am the authentic Muslim. Every other Muslim before me, no, false. That makes absolutely no sense.
I'm going to call him live right now. I'm going to call him live right now. It's just ringing and ringing and ringing.
Well, he could be in the midst of receiving new revelation. You never know.
Well, he told me he was going to work on some more, publishing some more videos. He said if I wasn't going to allow him to come on and speak freely, that he would just spend the evening doing what he planned to do, which was publish some more videos. So he didn't answer. So I don't know. But yeah, he contacted me. He sent me a message at 8. Let's see, what time was it? At 7:42. Yeah, 7:42, saying give me a few. 7:57, I asked him how much longer. I just called him at 8:22, so that's been No. So I guess he's not coming. That's fine. That's completely fine. So be sure to tune in, inshallah, for Saturday for the debate, inshallah. Matter of fact, I need to check my email for Dr. Shabir. Let me see if he's responded. He's supposed to be on this week. Dr. Shabir Ali. Let's see if he responded yet. No, he did not respond yet. So, anyways, so we'll figure it out. But somebody's saying he's on Zoom. Who? Brother says. I think you can't see your text. Okay. So, Brother Ziad, someone said recites some Quran from. He said recite some Quran.
Okay. Okay, inshallah. But right before I get into that, I just wanted to clarify something. That do you know that I am so fast that I can get to Philadelphia? Look, I'm right here in Athens, Greece, right? And you are in where? Houston, Texas. Okay.
Yes.
Did you know that I am so fast that I can get to Philadelphia faster than you? Well, I'm not saying it in any kind of disrespect or any whatchamacallit. I'm not saying it to be arrogant or anything, but I can get to Philadelphia much faster than you. I can prove it.
How can you do it?
There you go.
All right. I guess depending on which Philadelphia you're talking about.
I'm talking about this one.
Yeah, I see that.
my favorite cream cheese. Sorry, I love to play these pranks. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's funny.
It's kind of hard. By the way, I want to say something a little bit off topic, and it's serious. But if you ever want to put a smile on your face and you're feeling stressed out or anything, this goes for everyone, regardless of your faith, whatever. There is this beautiful gentleman and he has his own show with court proceedings in Rhode Island, New York. The name of the show is Caught in Providence. Caught, as you know, the past tense of catch. Caught in Providence.
Okay.
I would strongly suggest that everyone would watch it. It's amazing. This guy his compassion and his kindness is absolutely amazing, and he puts a smile on your face. You just watch a couple of his episodes, and you'll understand why.
Okay.
Caught in Providence. Google it, or look it up on YouTube. They have their own channel with
okay, I'll check it out.
Okay.
I'll certainly check it out. Inshallah.
Okay. Here goes.
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه بل يريد الإنسان ليفجر أمامه يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا لا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذيره لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه كلا بل تحبون العاجلة وتذرون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناذرة إلى ربها ناذرة ووجوه يومئذ باسرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاكرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنهم الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمتع أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى ألم يكون نطفة من مني يمنى ثم كان علقة فخلق فسوى فجعل منه الزوجين الذكر والأنثى أليس ذلك بقادر على أن يحيي الموتى.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. That's beautiful, brother.
That was the first opening chapter of the Surah Al-Quran, chapter 1, the Fatiha, and the other was chapter 775, Al-Qiyamah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Beautiful, beautiful.
Let me just turn on the fan because I'm starting to sweat here.
That was beautiful. Yeah, alhamdulillah. That was truly beautiful. Okay, so Isa ibn Yahya did not show up, so I guess he, I don't know. I did tell him that when he came, I would like for him to come because I was not done picking him apart. So I don't know if that did it, but I had many other things that I could have addressed during the debate, but obviously time was running out. But alhamdulillah, it's something, I'm passionate about it because I can't stand the idea of anyone speaking anything ill against Islam from Muslims, non-Muslims. I don't care who it is. Obviously, I don't believe this guy's a Muslim, not even close. But it's because Islam to me is so beautiful. It's I don't want anyone messing with it. So it's sometimes I get a little too passionate about it, and I listened to matter of fact, I think the opening statement, I gave my opening statement, the closing statement, I think they went fine. I think I addressed every point that I wanted to during the debate, but I found when I listened to it, I listened back to it, I wish I'd have just stayed a little calmer during the rebuttals and primarily during the question and answer period. But I caught him in a legitimate lie. So during the question and answer, I was actually angered by that. I found myself actually angry because I knew he was lying. And so, but nevertheless, I needed to calm down a little bit and just be a little more patient. But then, alhamdulillah, that comes comes with getting caught up in the emotion of the debate and all those things. So, brother, I guess like I said, I was going to do some writing today, so I didn't plan on coming on. But since he was messaging me all day long, figured we'd go ahead and have a discussion. But look, I don't know if you can see all these messages. You probably can't.
Let me take a look.
I don't know if you can see all, but he's.
If you could bring it a little bit closer to the camera, just a little bit.
That's
a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. No, you don't. You don't have to show us exactly, but I can tell. Very quick glances.
And it's like, all right, dude. I don't.
By the way, because people have been asking me, some of my students actually found my YouTube channel and they asked me, why do you use, I wanted to clarify this since this is recorded too, why do you use the American accent when your original accent is British? I'll tell them, well, it's very simple, because I want the person I'm speaking to feel comfortable. For example, if you, Brother Kenny, if you were Irish, British, South African, etc., I would speak to you in one of those accents, because I can speak almost all the accents. But my original accent is the British.
Oh, okay.
In case you didn't know that. No.
I happen to think that the British talk much better than we do, especially here in the South. So I'm sure I have a Texas accent. I mean, I'm sure I don't hear it, but
you sound, for me, you sound like the classic old-time American.
So, maybe I try to clean it up a little bit when we're live. I just talk, but I happen to think the people from the UK that they sound so much more eloquent, and just I like how they talk. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Except they don't pronounce their T's for some reason.
Who?
It seems that the people from the UK they don't pronounce their T's.
Depending on which part of the country you're from.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but it seems to me that they don't pronounce their T's. But nevertheless, I think they sound their accent is far better than the American accent. Matter of fact, the American accent sounds so plain, just plain.
If you want to. I can't remember this South African comedian. He's respectful. He doesn't. He rarely swears on his shows. Because the South African accent is very close to the British accent. Very close. Very close. He's been in America for a number of years now, and he made the first show that he made. He was actually telling off the Americans in a funny way that you pronounce the words in a different way and they have different meanings. And he said, for example, I'm quoting him right now, like the other day, he says, I pronounce the opposite of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Over here in the States, you say my aunt, which for me is an insect, which made me look like an ass. And
some people here say aunt, but most people say aunt.
And he continues, and he says, and which we look like an ass. But the other day, my friend told me that his aunt died. I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there.
Yeah.
My aunt.
Yeah. So some people, like I said, some people here say aunt. I don't say that. I say aunt. But matter of fact, speaking of, Mika says aunt. But speaking of that, make dua. Say some prayers for my aunt. She actually
your aunt or your aunt?
My aunt.
Your aunt.
She contacted me yesterday by text and said that she was being admitted into the hospital for the coronavirus.
Oh.
So yeah. Obviously, they can't have visitors up there. I think they might be allowing one visitor. I need to check into that, but see, so my aunt officially has the coronavirus. So
officially?
Yeah, she was admitted yesterday.
Regarding that, two of my students here in Athens, Greece, are nurses. I have lots of students from, you name it. programmers, nurses, lawyers, doctors, etc. And two of my students are nurses, and I questioned them about this. And you know what they told me?
What did they say?
They told me something. I don't know what's going on 100%, but I will tell you what they told me. And this has been confirmed by two people from two different hospitals. And these people, these two students, they don't even know each other. They told me that they have been ordered. Now this is going to be shocking, and I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, but they have been ordered actually in the university, in the hospital, that if anyone dies of any cause, you will write it down as COVID-19. Now that's interesting.
Yeah.
So if someone dies in a car accident, a heart attack, a stroke, pancreas cancer, you name it, they're going to write down COVID-19. Why would they do that? Unless there's something fishy. I'm not saying that your aunt is.
I understand.
Of course, every single Muslim who hears this should make dua, and I'm going to make dua for her to recover from what she has. But with this evidence that I have, I doubt that this COVID-19 thing is an actual virus. What I suspect is that they made up a name and they placed it. They took up an old virus, an old existing virus, and they renamed it. And they're making people panic. Their purpose is for the great pharmaceutical companies to sell and to shut down businesses. That's their purpose, in order to destroy the economy.
Yeah.
Who's behind all this? This is not some theory. This is not some conspiracy theory. This is true. We see this happening all around us.
Yeah. Well, brother,
remember what happened with George Floyd?
But right, George Floyd. They even tried to say the same thing about the coronavirus. But being the fact that I wrote this book about propaganda, so I don't doubt any of that. I certainly don't doubt any of it. I've got my own doubts about it as well. And so I was actually thinking about it yesterday after she contacted me. I thought, okay, so how do you really know unless someone that you actually know has been diagnosed with it? So that's the first person that I actually know. Although Mika's sisters, her family supposedly had it, but so I know them. So technically, she's not the first person. But with that being said, like you just mentioned, they're trying to associate anything with COVID-19. They even tried to do it with the George Floyd issue. Say he had COVID-19. Maybe he did, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. And the way propaganda works, what do? They repeat something over and over and over and over and over again and try to instill fear. They've got it's. I know this sounds crazy, but if we know that conspiracies exist, so it's one thing to be a conspiracy theorist and someone who's on the verge of paranoia about these issues. So we have that extreme, but we also have to be willing to say, okay, wait a minute, let me think about this and let's be honest. So we know that people conspire, they plot and they plan, they have agendas, they have secret meetings, this happens. And so, I've actually kicked around in my mind, okay, what is this something that they're trying to condition society for something that's coming, some plan that they're planning to enact? I mean, that could be. So we can't just take everything at face value. And, once again, I wrote a book about propaganda, so I know how it all comes into play. And with the mass media and all these things, I mean, it's like, we can't just sit down and say, oh, everything they're telling us should be taken to heart as though it's true. We just can't do that. If we do that, we're fooling ourselves.
There's a very easy way. There's a very easy test which you can conduct yourself if you know any person who's honest and has his own microbiology lab. Very easy test.
Yeah.
And I challenged both my students, before they admitted the truth. They were reluctant, but they admitted the truth in the end. I told them, listen, I'm going to come to your hospital where you work. I want you to give me a sample of this COVID-19. And then I'm going to take it to a friend of mine who has his own microbiology lab, and we're going to compare this sample with all the other known viruses. And if we find any match, you are liars.
Yeah.
One of them, in the beginning, she got a fight in with me, and she temporarily blocked me on Facebook. But then she unblocked me because she said, and she apologized, said, "I'm sorry, but this is what they told us. This is what they ordered us to say to everyone." And the other one, she was taken aback. She was shocked, and then she said exactly the same thing, with the only difference that she didn't block me. But the first one blocked me temporarily, and then she came back. She apologized, and she said, "I'm sorry, but we were ordered to say this." What does it prove? If COVID-19 inverted commas, if in inverted commas COVID-19 exists, it's not called COVID-19. And by the way, mashallah, our sister Munazza, jazakallah khair, what on earth does Bill Gates have anything to do with health and care? This guy, and there's a joke going on Facebook regarding Bill Gates. This guy, how can Bill Gates keep viruses out of the body when he wasn't even able to keep viruses out of Microsoft?
Yeah, well, that's a good one there. I actually haven't heard
send my regards to you.
That's a good one. I haven't heard this Bill Gates issue, so kind of fill me in on that.
You don't know?
No, I don't know about it.
Bill Gates has come up with his own vaccine, which allegedly is going to help the body and it's going to give people immunities and stuff like that. Well, we all know that in the 21st century, there's something called nanotechnology. Would you risk even a 0.01% chance that this nanotechnology would be inserted in this inverted commas vaccine? Of course not. So what on earth does Bill Gates have anything to do with health and care?
This is interesting because the Christians are going to jump all over this in regards to the mark of the beast. So something that's going to be connected into you, or some kind of a tracking device of some kind. So Christians will jump all over this issue.
Mark of the beast. Mark of the beast. You just reminded me of something very interesting that I saw on Facebook about 2 months ago. If you take the alphabet and you take it with numbers next to it, and you write down the word coronavirus, and you, for example, for C, you're going to put 3, for A, you're going to put 1, etc., etc. And if you add the numbers together, I actually did this. I actually did this for myself. The total is 666.
Really?
Yes, you can do that. You can actually do that. Add, like for example, we all know
for each letter, whatever number it coincides with in the alphabet.
Yeah. For example, the E is number 4, the A is number 1, the B
so you
is
just
number
get all those letters and add them all up.
Get all the letters, and you add 3 plus, I don't know, 18, whatever is O, etc., coronavirus, and you add them all together. The actual number comes up to 666. And I don't know if this was made intentionally, but now they're going to have the Christian missionaries and the pastors, etc., saying, "Oh, look, this was mentioned in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 18, which says that the number of the beast is 666."
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. Maybe they fabricated this and they made the number perfect to be 666.
It could be. Brother, it could be. It's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. MI5 Dunya, assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for always moderating the chat. He says, we have to remember that in the UK, 800,000 people die each year. That's roughly 1,350 a day before coronavirus. I wonder what the number has been after the coronavirus issue. Do you have any idea? If you have that information, please post it.
This year, according to the latest statistics I read around the end of April, there was at least 407,000 deaths in Italy, which had nothing to do with COVID-19. And they tell us we should be afraid of this new virus, which killed less than 30,000 by April. Or was it 30 or was it 35,000? I can't remember the exact number on that one. So which is more dangerous? Classic disease that has already killed 407,000? Well, not in total, not just one disease. Should we afraid of all the other diseases which killed 407,000 until April, or should we be afraid of one virus which killed, allegedly, new virus, whatever, it's not new, but we know that. Well, for those who can comprehend, that killed less than 35. Which makes more sense?
Yeah. So, the thing is, like, when I think about it, I'm thinking, okay, so this is supposed to be a worldwide pandemic, right? And I'm thinking if this was manufactured and it's not real, which which very well could be the case, but who would have gotten together? I mean, obviously, world leaders would get together to do this, but would it be someone from every country? How would they get together to conspire and concoct this plan? And what would be the ultimate goal if they did? And with so many, if that's the case, with so many people involved in it, you would think that it would get out, it would leak somehow, that it was just a conspiracy, or it was just
it's already leaked.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry, I just stepped away to have a quick shower. I heard only a little bit, but I know that Brother Ziad has his concerns with the current crisis. I do not entirely agree, but I do agree with some of the points that he raises. For example, in the way that the lockdowns are being handled, how the medical explication is being offered to the public by the medical professionals, right? We don't get a clear medical explanation for us to understand what exactly is the virus that we're facing. What exactly is it? I mean, just yesterday, I don't recall, there was a paper published saying that it's not respiratory, it's vascular. So, you see, like every week you get, if not every day, you get something new or something contradictory to what was said before. One day they tell us that masks don't help, the next day they say it helps, and then the next day it says you don't have to wear it, and then the next day it says you can wear it, it's good. So what, we don't know this just shows us that even the medical professionals are not sure. They are as much, well, maybe not as much, but they are quite in the dark as we are all in the dark, stumbling about. But a more serious concern is to the origin of the virus, and also just recently, I think it was last week, it was published in, oh my goodness, Huffington Post, was it? That a couple of European scientists have demonstrated, at least to their view, that the virus is actually superficial. It was created because of some of the protein markers or something like that. And so this adds to the enigma, to the suspense that all of us are having every day, every second. What's going on? What's going to happen? We just don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, to add to the mystery is, if in fact the virus is what it is, now we're not so sure what the virus is, because according to the professionals, they've mutated to so many different types of they've gone through so many mutations already, that each country has a different kind of COVID-19. That's what they're saying. And in one country, you have several types of mutations also. So that's several different kinds of COVID-19. Okay, it's getting weirder and weirder. But if you trace everything back to its origin, the mystery gets more palpable. Came from Wuhan, apparently, according to some whistleblowers, from a lab, China owned, but American funded.
Really? Yeah, I didn't realize
And
that.
that is the fact. Yeah, that part of the story is a fact. There's a lab in Wuhan dealing with things like that, studying the contagion that they carry, and this is non-debatable fact. Anybody can Google it and ascertain the facthood of this particular part of the story. America actually funded that lab.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard about that. Yeah. So that changes the entire dynamic of the whole situation for me. Did you mention that before?
I said that I think somebody in America planted it in Wuhan to give President, what's his name, a reason to keep saying China virus, China virus, China virus. I said that.
Yeah.
That's why he kept saying it like that, to keep blaming them.
Yeah. Yes, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
You did tell me that. Yeah. So I mean, and that's propaganda. I mean, she just hit it right on the head with that. I don't know if y'all heard exactly what Mika said, but
yeah. I mean, if it actually came from the marketplace, right? December or November, supposedly the virus started. That was supposedly when the first transmission occurred. That was not the first time the Chinese started eating bats. They've been eating bats for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
According to the experts, bats do carry the COVID-19 virus. They're carriers. So they've been eating bats all this while, and even in Indonesia, and nobody got any COVID-19. And then suddenly, a few months ago, that happened. It doesn't make sense, because they're saying that it is so contagious. I was watching the documentary that a Malaysian newspaper made. So in the autopsy report, the doctors said that even the liquid that oozes out of the corpse's cavities contain the COVID-19 that is infectious. That's why when you see them, handling the dead, they have to wear protective gear and everything. So if it's that contagious, how come it never infected anybody?
Yeah.
Millions of Chinese eat bats.
If America funds that clinic, I had no clue about that. That's alhamdulillah. There's no telling what they're up to at this point. It's a prime example of how you just can't be so naive and gullible as to accept everything that you've been presented with. And like Mika just said a while ago, repeating it's from China, trying to put all the blame on a target, a particular group over and over and over again. That's propaganda. That's how it works. In the book, I talk about isolating a certain group. Matter of fact, I just seen on the news earlier today where it's like they're positioning themselves for war with China.
Yeah.
So that's a common tactic in propaganda where you isolate a certain group of people and you begin to target them through campaigns of hate with short slogans and repeated words over and over and over again, and that's how it all happens. So there's no telling what these people are up to.
And my blinkers went on even more crazily and brightly when Bill Gates started, putting himself out there. You kept on seeing his face, right? He was all over the news. It's like he was going to come and save the world. Talking about vaccines, vaccination, and lo and behold, what does that entail? Let's put chips in people so that we know who's vaccinated. And really, is he really supporting that internationally?
That's what I just mentioned to Brother Ziad a moment ago, that the Christians jump all over that with the mark of the beast issue, and I'm not so far away from that myself, to be honest. I see that as one of the tactics before the day of judgment, obviously. But
Bill Gates, we respect him because I'm using the computer here. It tells here Intel Inside, Intel Core i5, whatever. it's produced by his company in Israel. Yeah, okay, we respect him for his innovation, for his brilliance in giving us such marvelous technology. But that's not medicine.
Yeah.
When he talks about the current pandemic, for example, it's like he's giving an air as if he got a PhD from Harvard and Princeton on medicine.
And I'm going to look into that because I haven't heard any. I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't
I'd like to add something very quick to that.
I'm so busy, I don't pay attention to it.
If the Muslims hadn't discovered the zero, there wouldn't even be a computer today.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Okay.
Brother Makit Khan, assalamu alaikum, brothers. He said, I cannot wait to the day of judgment when these 1% elite devils get their due. Just a matter of time. You know, I often think about that kind of stuff, especially dealing with the Islamophobes and all that. I think, I can't wait to the day of judgment. At the same time, I'm cautious about thinking that way, or because I think that's going to be a day that we can't really grasp the magnitude of that day, and so I think we're all going to be obviously we're Muslims, so alhamdulillah, right? So I feel confident that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most gracious, the most merciful. We're Muslims, we're the mu'min, we're true. If you're true believers, you're sincere, you strive, you try, you make mistakes, you try some more. So I'm confident that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alhamdulillah, I expect to be in paradise, inshallah. I hope, we hope for that as Muslims, right? So, but I'm scared to say that I can't wait for the day of judgment, because I think we can't really, don't get me wrong, this is something I quite often think, but I try to catch myself and say, wait a minute, am I really ready for that day to come yet? Am I ready? I got to make sure I'm ready, right? So I mean, try to be ready. Huh?
With all due respect, ready or not, it's going to come for all of us.
Yeah, I know it. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. It's coming no matter what. We got to make sure that we are prepared for that day. So we got to be cautious about rushing it in. So I know Brother Mukit Khan, he just putting into context the way I do as well. And so I'm just, that's why I put it up there on the screen, because it's something that I often think in dealing with certain people who attack Islam and all those things. I think, I cannot wait. I thought of this about Isa ibn Yahya. I can't wait for the day of judgment, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let this truth be known to everyone. I want to see the look on their on that day, So the same thing applies to these people. If they've manufactured this quote unquote virus, and if it's non-existent, or it's something they've conspired to achieve some other plan, oh man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's going to deal just with everyone for that matter. But there's going to be certainly people on that day whose faces are dark and gloomy because they know what they brought upon themselves. And inshallah, the mu'min, the true believers, the Muslims will be bright, and alhamdulillah, we'll know that we made the right decisions in life. So
if you read Islamic eschatology, one of the most prominent of themes is the idea of the facade, that things are not what they seem. And the closer you get to that time, the more things seem in a certain way, but in actuality, the reality is totally different from what is superficially perceived by many, if not most people. The closer you get to the time. So, for example, just take something very simply, right? If in the days of old, commodity after human beings dealt in barter, they started dealing in using material currency that has innate value, stable value, gold, silver. Then came the modern world. What do we have? Toilet paper. Toilet paper, where we imagine that paper having value. Who gives that value? Ask your local economist, go to your local university, sit down with a economist, right, the professor there, and ask him about the monetary system. Ask him, what is money? Where does it come from? How does it come about? see how he stumbles upon his words.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, look at America, right? Who controls your money? The federal bank. The name itself is a deception, and to this day, millions of Americans actually believe it is federal. It's not. It's a misnomer. It is a private bank. The American government does not have the legal capacity to audit the federal bank, and yet the federal bank is the one that is legally allowed, not even the government of America, to issue American currency. Most Americans don't know this, and it is stupendous. So the closer we get to the time, the more stranger things become.
Yeah. There's no question about it. We can sense it. I mean, it's. I remember just a number of weeks ago, Meek and I went when the city was completely shut down. We went for a walk at night. I mean, it was like midnight. I live right here in downtown, and just it was so bizarre, like like out of a movie, and someone had graffiti COVID-19, and then you see literally you only see a few homeless people here and there, and it's like nothing against homeless people, but it's like in the movies where you be in this situation that it's a world changing event that in maybe a zombie apocalypse type situation. It just seems so bizarre, right? So bizarre. The streets are black, no cars in cities. Houston's a big city, right? There's millions of people in Houston, but the streets are empty. Such a strange period of time. It's all the rioting and all the things. So we obviously we are the people closest to the day of judgment, other than maybe not our particular generation, but obviously we're approaching the day of judgment. It's coming, and man, we got to make sure that we're ready for it, and don't just take everything at face value. Don't believe everything that you see, because it pops up on social media and you see it 9 times that day. We just can't just latch on to everything that you see.
Well, we live in the strangest of times. It's the time like no other time in history. It's a time when a group of people or even a single person can blow up an airplane, Iran, a few months back, and then just, oops. That's it. Full stop. That's the end of the story. Next.
Yeah.
MashaAllah.
By the way, this thing with the COVID-19, etc., has actually done us Muslims a very great service. And I'll explain my reasons before I put this back in the fridge, because it's been out for quite some time. Anyway, the reason is, before this inverted commas crisis and the lockdown and
almost always on media. Yeah.
No, what I'm trying to say regarding us in Islam, especially if you're living in a non-Muslim country, especially if you have a type of job that you come in contact with people, what's the first thing that they do when they're members of the opposite sex? With all due respect, of course, they come and
shake hands.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. After, and subhanallah, I was praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He would put me in a position that I wouldn't have to do that ever again. Now that they came up with this, I call it fake, whatever, with this quarantine, etc., no one approaches me from the members of the opposite sex to shake hands. No one, subhanallah.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you're a Muslim and you're living in a non-Muslim country like Greece, for example, and they come up to you and they're like, in the UK they respect it. If you tell them, listen, sorry, I don't shake hands because I'm Muslim, they're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that, and that's it.
Yeah.
But try to do the same thing, for example, in Greece. They'll start mocking you, attacking you. See, the problem with Greece is that they were under the Turkish rule for 400 plus years. And that's why they have this, they teach their children, they raise their children with this prejudice and racism and utmost hatred towards the religion of Islam, which is wrong, because the religion has nothing to do with politics. I mean, I don't condone, of course, I'm against what the Turks did back then in those 400 years of Turkish Ottoman rule, but At the same time, you have to be honest and teach your children that this was politics. Because if you keep telling them this was Islam, and then one day this child at the age of 15, 16, 17 plus, he meets a Muslim, he or she will be very aggressive towards that Muslim. Am I right?
Yeah.
Do you understand my point? Yeah, I mean, you have to be honest. Teach your children from very young age that, you know what? The Turks did this to us, not the Muslims.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And not even the Turks themselves, the Turkish government at that time, or whoever was in rule at that time, did this to us. The army, etc., the politicians, whatever, at that time, time. But not the Turks themselves. Did you know that in the year 1973 to 1974, the Turkish government forced, notice this, they forced normal Turkish residents to leave their homes and go inhabit the half northern portion of Cyprus? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
People were reluctant, and they forced them, and they told them, if you do not do this, we are going to treat you like them, like the Cypriots. After they conquered Cyprus, at the time when what's his name had his heart attack, Makarios, the ex-archbishop of Cyprus, I believe he died in 1977 of a heart attack. He died on the 3rd of August, 1977 of a heart attack. He had warned the Greeks to be on the lookout, because he told them the Turks are going to invade. And they were like, get out of here, you're crazy, they're not going to do that. But they did, and he was right. He was absolutely, and they even tried to imprison him. And they said that he was whatever, he was saying these crazy theories. After the Turks invaded Cyprus in the year, I think it was 73 or 74, I can't remember, they forced local Turkish good people to leave their homes and go live in the invaded homes. And this is a fact. I'm not making this up. You can check it out if you want.
Yeah.
Regarding what I said before, I remember that you have to add some other words after the word coronavirus. You have to add some other words, and the total comes up to 666. But I can't remember the actual words. Anyway.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sure. I think, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and close the show out. Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Thank everyone for watching. I was Isa ibn Yahya. Matter of fact, the last messages and the call that I made to him, he hasn't seen it based on the Facebook. It doesn't show that he's actually seen those messages or the call. So I don't know what happened to him, but maybe I guess he got cold feet or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe you brothers ran him off. Maybe he was afraid to come with you guys on here. I don't know. But alhamdulillah. Go ahead, brother.
I wrote the same comment on each and every video that he had up until yesterday. And at the end of the comment, of course, I said that this is not an Islamic channel, etc., and in the end, I gave the link to the debate.
Yeah. I think he deleted it.
It was a massacre. It wasn't a debate. It was a massacre.
It was a massacre. Alhamdulillah.
Intellectual massacre.
Alhamdulillah.
You did a great job, mashallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I wish I would have, in the question and answer, I could have toned it down just a little bit as far as my emotions, but I think I covered all the 4 points that I set out to cover for the debate. Alhamdulillah, I know I covered my points. And if we were in a court of law, he would have been convicted. There's no question.
Less than 2 minutes.
Alhamdulillah. So, but yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I went through some of those videos today, and I didn't see your posts, so I think he's deleted them.
Really?
Yes, I believe so. And I believe I tried to make some posts on a few of them and make the post the thing for the link, and I didn't see mine either. After I went back and looked at them again, I didn't see them there. So I don't know. He might have deleted them. So
what a coward.
Yeah. So he had a lot to say today by text. Obviously, he didn't want to come on the show and have an actual discussion again. I had so much more I could talk to him about. So much more. So he made a good move by not coming. I'm sure you
Let
can.
me open just the very first. Oh, he added a video.
He added a video.
I see that my comment is there on the very first video. If you cannot see it, it means that he has blocked me, and I'm the only one who can see my comment. My comment is all in capital letters. Important! Exclamation mark. This is not a Muslim channel! Exclamation mark. Watch this debate where this Dajjal gets exposed for his deception! Exclamation mark. And then the link. I can send it to you. Oh, no, I can't because my Facebook is a little bit blocked. It says it's restricted. But I mean, let me do this. Let me hang on. Let me do this. I'll move my camera and I'll show it to you.
Oh, you don't have to show it. It's all right.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. I'm sure you put him on there. Maybe he blocked me for that matter. He might have blocked me. Maybe that's why I couldn't see it. I don't know. I looked. I looked. I didn't see it. I clicked on a number of different videos, and I could. But I could. Once again, I tried to post, and I couldn't. It wouldn't let me post. So maybe he blocked me. I don't know. Maybe he did. But anyways, I thank everyone for watching, brothers. Thank you, brother Ibn Anwar, brother Ziad, for.
My comment is still there, which means that he has blocked me. Yeah, he's a coward.
Yeah.
Do you know what this guy did? Sorry, just one last thing. You can close, Afi.
Sure.
Do you know what this guy did back in the good old days before YouTube was sold to Google to Google?
What did he do?
This guy I was debating, it's Christian, whom in the end I was after him for years. I forced him to quit YouTube. One of the many that I forced him. Alhamdulillah, I forced him. One of the Dajjals. I forced him to quit YouTube because I exposed him so bad using his own videos. Before I exposed him, before I did one major video that exposed him 100%, and I deleted the old videos because they were no longer useful.
Yeah.
You know what he did? He had blocked me, and I knew that he had blocked me. And then to satisfy his sick ego, you know what he did?
What did he do?
He went to one of his videos. He went to one of my old comments, and he wrote, something like, why don't you debate me? Something like that. Now imagine how sick that is. Now think about it for a moment. To satisfy your own ego, you block me, and then you write a message that why don't you accept my challenge where I cannot reply?
to make everyone else think that you.
It's like
that you
what?
These people, man, I don't doubt that one bit.
But in my final video, I made my final video before Google bought YouTube. I also showed that he has blocked me on that video.
Yeah.
And then ironically, he was claiming that I have multiple accounts to downcast his videos. And then I researched and I discovered that he had at least 7 fake accounts. And how I proved that all these accounts were made before I made my own channel. They were made at least 1 year before.
Man, how do people? I've come across people that have done the same thing, have multiple accounts like that. I don't know how they have time for it. How do they have time? What are they trying to do? I mean, these people are up to all kind of shenanigans, man.
Thumb down your videos as if that proves anything. It's silly. It's silly.
Alhamdulillah.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, brother. So I'm going to close this thing out, and but thank everyone for watching. Sister Manaza, brother Ibrahim, MR5 Dunya. I am a two men. I am a motamin. What does that mean? I'm a motamin.
I am a mu'min.
But it says M-O. Okay, so I'm a mu'min. Alhamdulillah.
I will explain why. Because in the Arabic language, because they don't have a way of using
the two.
They use the two as an apostrophe. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you have to be an Arab.
I'm a motamin. Okay, alhamdulillah, that's a done deal. So I always said I'm a motamin. Okay, I had no clue about that. So I'm a true believer of the mu'minin, alhamdulillah. Mu'minin al-mu'minati.
You correct. Mu'min. And they use the number 3 as a ayn.
Ayn, because it looks like the ayn.
If they want to write adl, they're going to write 3 AD. And
okay. Yeah. So my brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, this brother right here is with the Change for Change Foundation. You see his name in the chat right there. This brother, matter of fact, a year ago today, my son was in a very serious accident. No, as of yesterday, it's already the 15th today. As of yesterday, he was in a very serious accident. He died as a result of the accident. Wa inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. And brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, he is the founder of the Change for Change Foundation in Ghana. And right now, as we speak, there's a water well with my son, dedicated to my son in Ghana for Sadaqat Jariyah. Also, there's one in Pakistan as well, that another brother that he actually paid for that well and had it all built himself for my son, brother Azhar Khan, and he just did that completely on his own. The well that's in Ghana was based on people donated after the death of my son to have that water well built. And brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, I love this brother so much, brother Abu Bakr. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if I don't see him before the day of judgment, I expect to see him on the day of judgment, obviously, but I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets me embrace him sometime, in this lifetime, inshallah. I want to give this brother a hug because he's so, for one, he's got a beautiful smile, but he's so active in his community there, trying to help the children there. With their school supplies and getting schools built and getting floors built for the schools and the classrooms, and just always active in his community, So, matter of fact, if you're a Muslim right now, send this brother a friend request, brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein. He's on my friends list. So if you're on my friends list, look up Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein on my friends list. This brother is worth befriending. He's our Muslim brother. He's very active in this community. I love him with all of my heart. I love this brother with all of my heart. And
I just checked. He has me blocked. That's why my comments aren't showing. I just checked.
You're talking about Isa. So, brother, matter of fact, I wasn't planning on showing this, but today I was fixing to close out. But you see, scrolling on the bottom, it says the Change for Change Foundation. That's the GoFundMe. So donate. We're trying to get more water wells built, inshallah, for Ghana. And I don't push. I need to push it more. But that's the GoFundMe link for the Change for Change Foundation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post it in the chat before we go. I'm going to make sure that I post the link for the Change for Change Foundation. And this is Sadaqah. So please donate and have more water wells built. And Brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein will make sure he's the one that overseen the whole thing. So I'll have to. Here's the link right here.
Yep.
No, that's the Merriam Center fundraiser. So I'll have to get the link. But before I go, I'm gonna post the link for that. It was on my saved links page, but I don't know what happened to it. But anyways, this brother, he overseen the construction of that well, and it means, sure, brother, and so it means the world to me because it's so much peace knowing that Sadaqah people are utilizing the well for their everyday needs, day in, day out, and it's very, very important, And so let me sign in here and. But yes, so please donate to the Change for Change Foundation. It could just be a small amount, but every bit counts to get more water wells built. There are areas in the world that that have no clean water supply. Period. They have no clean water supply, and we take a lot of things for granted sometimes. So no matter how much you can donate, please donate. And I'm going to post the link. I'm trying to get it right now as we speak. So I got it. Okay, so I'm going to post it in the chat. So please donate to the Change for Change Foundation. Contact Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein. This brother is a wonderful brother. He's a wonderful brother. And that's the link for the Change for Change Foundation right there. And his brother right here, this brother means a lot to me. He really, really, really does. Alhamdulillah. All your brothers do, for that matter. But this brother, it's.
Alhamdulillah.
He made sure to keep me posted every step of the way with the construction of that well, from the moment that they started digging it to every step of it. and it was helping me through the process of losing my son, because I knew the sadaqah. You know, I knew it was coming, and periodically, like a number of times, he's gone out there to that particular village, and just to give me an update about how the water well's doing, and seeing people still utilizing it, the water's still fresh and clean, and all those things. So it means so much to me. This brother right here, Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, send him a friend request. It's 2:22 a.m. in Ghana right now. He says he's awake to watch the program. This brother is something else. So Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, send this brother right here a friend request. And if you want to, the link for the GoFundMe, because he's in Ghana, I have to send him the money. So the money comes to the GoFundMe, and then I'll send him the money via it's a bit of a process, but I'll get him the money, but inshallah. But yes, yeah, befriend this brother, make a donation, even if it's a small amount, help get another water well built. You'll be glad that you did on the Day of Judgment. Inshallah. So, Brother Abu Bakr, assalamu alaikum, brother. All you brothers, Brother Mukit Khan, I'm a Mukmin. Now that I know that what that 2 stands for, I'm a Mukmin, alhamdulillah. Brother 5 Dunya, Sister Manaza, everyone who's participated. Obviously, Brother Ibrahim. So obviously, Isa Ibn Yahya didn't show up. So I don't know what to say about that. But
why would he?
Yeah, it's best that he doesn't. I mean, for his sake. I mean, alhamdulillah. Brother Darth, assalamu alaikum. So I really appreciate everyone supporting the channel. Please share it with other people. Share it with your other people on your friends list, so that we can help build the platform, build the show. Invite non-Muslims. If you have a Muslim, you have someone that you're engaging with on a constant basis, a Christian or atheist or whatever, Islamophobes that you're having constant interactions with, invite them to the show. Let them come and present their case on the show, and we'll deal with it accordingly. But I want everyone to know how much it means to me that you are part of the show. The brothers that come to the panel and part of the panel all the time, sharing their knowledge and their wisdom. Brother reciting the Quran so beautifully earlier. Brother Marshall Gregory behind the scenes doing promotion. Brother Kareem, he's got some stuff that he's tied up with, so hasn't been with us the last few shows. But it's alhamdulillah. We're trying to share the truth and the beauty of Islam with people, break down misconceptions. Dawah is deen. Everyone who's watching, you're a part of the team. Whether you're on the panel or you're in the chat, you're part of the Consider This TV team. When I pass away, inshallah, I'm going to make sure that someone has the credentials to keep the show going. I want the show to keep going even after I pass away. So I want to make everyone aware of that. If I pass away, brothers, step up and Consider This TV. Let it keep going, and keep telling people about the truth and beauty of Islam. That's my objective. That's my purpose. I want the sadaqah for the Day of Judgment. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses each and every one of us for our contributions and our intentions and our efforts. And I pray that He has mercy on each and every one of us on the Day of Judgment. So once again, befriend Brother Abu Bakr Siddiq Hussein, beautiful brother. Brother Ziyad, Brother Ibn Anwar, thank you once again. You brothers mean the world to me as well. And respect your knowledge and your wisdom so much. And I thank you, brothers, from the bottom of my heart. So once again, thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I do bear witness there's no God other than Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is indeed the final servant, the seal of all the prophets, despite what other people might say. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So once again, assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah.
Wa alaikum salam.